Hello, salam, namaste, sat Sri Akal. Welcome everyone to another episode of Candid Talks with Bharat V. This is Bharat Vatsaya, host of the show. In today's episode, we will be talking to Dashmi Mohan, who is a professional teacher, a passionate biker, civic leader, and a corona warrior. During pandemic, as a corona warrior, she served humanity, supplying emergency supplies like medicines, groceries, and sanitary supplies to remote villages for all those who were in need across Karnataka and other states on her bike. She truly is a hero and deserves a salute.
You are listening to Candid Talks with Bharat V. Please do listen to the episode till the end. Before we begin, please do not forget to subscribe to this podcast channel, and you can connect on Facebook page at Candid Talks with Bharat V.
So with a round of applause, let's welcome Dashmi Mohan.
Hi, this is Dashmi Mohan. I am a professional teacher, a passionate biker, a civic leader, and corona warrior. For me, riding my bike is like meditation. और आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं कैंडिड टॉक्स विद भरत वी.
Hi Dashmi, welcome to the show, and thank you so much, first of all, taking out time and joining us on the show today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much.
And we definitely would like to hear your experiences, that you have been going through, during the pandemic, obviously. But before we go there, first of all, if you can tell us and our listeners about yourself first, where you belong to and where exactly are you currently situated, and how did you started biking, first of all? And that is the foremost thing that I would want to ask. How did
Okay,
you get
fine.
into biking?
Okay. So here I stay in Karnataka state, where the Bangalore. From the Bangalore, 200 kilometers by native place, Chitradurga, where in a very conservative Orthodox family, I was born and brought up and educated. Next, I was not into biking or what we are doing now. My hobbies, I was not there. It was all suppressed. After
Okay.
my marriage, when I came to Bangalore, so after just 2015, I started my biking. So that was not a dream, or it was not anything of the goal. Just ऐसे ही शुरू हो गया. So just when I went to an social cause, it was in breast cancer awareness, and there I saw a few of the riders, bikernies, they rode in Bangalore roads. So I inspired from them, and then I joined. I was not riding a gear bike, just a non-gear bike I was riding. Just after that, I purchased my bike. The first bike I started with Avenger 150cc.
Okay.
So then I learned the bike. Then my journey started with the first ride. It was an up and down 600 kilometer day ride. I rode alone, solo ride that day. That day I came
Okay,
to
your
know that,
first ride was a solo ride.
yes, solo ride. That too in Western Ghats. I was not aware of the curves and the bending.
Okay.
Just blindly, I went off early morning, 4:30.
Okay, one quick
And-
question. Did you wear all the
Yeah.
gears in your this solo ride?
I was having all my gears. I was aware of that gear because I'm a civic leader. I have to be
Mhm.
responsible rider, and I have
Absolutely,
to. Many people are watching me. That's why, and also for my self care, I need to. So here the gear was there. I was fully packed up and gear with helmets and all, and that was a blind ride. Just in the highway I was riding. So that was a long distance ride, and bend and curves I'm not aware of that. When I'm on the road, then only I came to know that how to turn the bike in a curves in a ghat section. So
Okay.
I was scolded by truck drivers, and I was panic, and again I again self-motivated myself, and then I rode, and that was a successful ride for me, and I never forget that.
Okay. And when you started first, you said that was somewhere around 15 years back, I believe, right? And that was, you started with Scooty.
Regular scooty was non-gear
Yeah.
scooty, it was there. And that time I was I'm very much crazy about to know about the place, know about the geographical area and the
Mhm.
authentic food. I was very much fond of that, to know about the each state, each culture, and every different villages what they are doing in
Okay.
Karnataka.
Okay.
So in that time only I used to ride up and down 150 kilometers
Mhm.
and 80 kilometers, like that I used to go with alone. Sometime alone I used to go, sometime with group of girls gang I used to go.
Okay.
Then many people were criticized again then, so you should ride a bike, not like this scooty and all.
Okay.
So again that was mind triggered, and I purchased the bike 150cc.
Awesome. Your parents never said that, why do you want to ride a bike? What benefit you'll get out of that? And why do you need to ride solo? Why don't you, ride with someone or maybe in a group or something?
Yeah, in my was I was an alone like a tomboy, and everyone obviously before the marriage they were caring so a lot, and after the marriage it was all left to the responsibility of my husband.
Okay.
So again my husband motivated me, and first starting it was very difficult to make them understand in the family, my
Mhm.
in-laws and my husband and all. Later the end of the year they came to know that this is a passionate and she likes. Then they motivated me, and they helped me to move around. And
Okay.
every time they used to tracking was there.
Okay. Okay. So, every time whenever you went on a long ride, your family, your husband, did he ever help you in making the plans for the ride or helping you in doing the packing?
No, they never did. Myself only I did all the packing and all the gaze and all the route map and all. Starting, it was very difficult to make them understand, and they were opposing me. And later, I was telling lie to them.
Okay.
So I was not telling proper place where I'm going and all. In the middle of the road, I used to go highway, and then I used to call my husband. I'm going this way, and this is my route map. I'm telling.
Okay. Okay.
I was informing my husband later.
Okay.
Starting, he was not allowing so easily. He was not convinced. So later, he was convinced.
Okay. Okay. So after your first solo ride, I think that was quite a long one, by the way. I think so that was around 650 kilometers long ride. And that
Yes.
also you did solo. After that,
Yes.
I think that is when you started your long touring rides. I believe you did from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. And
Yes.
that was with two more people. And it took around 11 days for you to complete that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, how do you plan and how do you prepare for such long rides? And how do you draw the entire blueprint that, okay, this is where I have to ride and for how long I have to ride and where I have to take halts? And what is the approach for you to decide that by what time I should take halt and where I should take halt and what kind of accommodation you will need? Do you do the booking upfront or do you do it on the spot when you reach, or you just ride and by the time you need to stop, you just see whatever is the nearest town, you stop there and then look for a accommodation then and there itself? So how do you do this entire thing?
See, first of all, in the long rides, first my long ride was Kanyakumari to Kashmir. There, my two co-riders were there. One is a lady and another is a man who rode along with me. And that time it was little bit easy because they both were also coordinating. I was blind in that. I was not booked anything during that Kanyakumari to Kashmir. So
Okay.
I was an amateur right that time, how to book, where, when. So I was just following both of them. So later, after the experience of that Kanyakumari to Kashmir,
Mhm.
then my second long ride, I went solo, which was from Bangalore to Kolkata. So
And that
it
was
took
one of
me
the challenging ride as well.
challenging, right? It was in October month and it was full rainy season. And 3 days it took me for 2000 from Bangalore to Kolkata. It is 2000 kilometer. That
Okay.
time I explored some of the blogs in YouTube and about the Kolkata place.
Mhm.
And also few of the riders were there. I asked helped about the hotels booking and all,
Okay.
and the safety places, and also within budget hotel I was looking. So before a ride I have done few homework. So
Mhm.
how much kilometer, how much, what is the cc of my bike, and what is the capacity, and when it will reach to the destiny. So usually I plan a ride in early morning 4:30.
Okay.
So 3:30 to 4:30 I plan. So within a dark 6:30 or 7 I used to reach the destination. So
Okay.
in example in Kolkata, first was destination was Vijayawada. It was 650 kilometer. Then second day Bhubaneswar, it took me 800 kilometers. Then
Okay.
third day I could reach the Kolkata. So like that per day 600, 700 or 800 kilometer I used to plan in such a way that before dark 7 o'clock or 6:30 I used to stop the ride. And that ride where the big city, where the major city was there, or the major district place where I could get a comfortable hotels to stay and safe place. So
Okay.
I used to see starting, I used to see a best hotel, so that 3-star hotel or a 2-star hotel, so that solo women, it should be safe, because
Right.
all the some I heard that some business women roam alone, and
Mhm.
they choose this way to save.
Okay.
So I got an idea from that, and later I booked with two-star or 3-star hotel with the proper all safety and all. First,
Okay.
I used to book before on call, and I used to ask, and everything I confirm. Then I used to approach the address and all. Then I used to go there. Not at the place blindly. I never went.
Okay. So is there any specific time limit that you keep in mind that, okay, I should not ride after that specific time in the evening, maybe 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., something like that?
No, not like that. I can ride up to night 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Once I was still up amateur ride, I used to plan 7.
Okay.
Now I got a confidence
Mhm.
that after the experience only we know about the roads and the places and the area where we are going.
Okay.
So after the knowledge, gaining the knowledge and experience of the other riders, bloggers, then nowadays from 2 years, I'm riding with even late night also 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Also
Okay.
I rode.
Okay. And
Without experience, nobody should go
absolutely.
11 or 12 beyond that.
Absolutely. So like it's a dream of every rider, right? I mean, the moment somebody starts riding, their first, if you ask them, their first dream ride, everyone says Ladakh, Leh Ladakh.
Yes.
So, but you did solo to somewhere in the south itself. After that, when exactly did you ride to Leh Ladakh? And I think you have done that twice already. And was that solo?
Yes. No, it's a group ride. First, I went a group ride, then I went a solo. So that
Okay.
second time when it was not a ride, it was just an very toughest trucking. That was a chadar
Ah.
truck.
Okay.
So that I did in second time. That is not possible when we rode and go, and again trucking is not possible.
Okay.
That's why I went for flight.
Okay.
So first time I rode from Delhi, I parcel my bike in 150cc Avenger only. I did that in 2018. So I parceled the bike in Delhi with my co-riders. 11 boys were there only. I wasn't alone.
Okay.
So again, 2 of the girls was there. That was pillion. So in that totally 11 plus 13, 14 members were there in my first Ladakh ride.
Okay.
So from Delhi, we rode to Ladakh. From Jammu Kashmir, we took a route,
Mhm.
and then Ladakh. So there, Kargil, first we visited the Kargil place, and then that route we took.
Okay, you did
so
not go via Manali. You went from the other
Manali
side.
again went.
Okay.
No, I went from other side. Udhampur, that side I went.
Kargil side. Okay.
So that time I got a confidence that some of the boys were helping, and they were in the group. I was in the group.
Okay.
So after when I went in Ladakh, everyone are dispersed. So
Okay.
again, I was alone there.
Okay.
So some speed was not matching. Some people were not matching with the troop. So first 2 days it was went on well,
Okay.
and the third day the Kardungla pass and all, it was very difficult, and
Okay.
many were dropped out, and many were the problems. So I
Mhm.
did the Kardungla pass, and again we came back, and again it was in the month of July I did. So it was a little bit cold, chill, minus degree. It was there.
Right.
So, and again, that time many boys were left, and again I was alone there. So again,
Okay.
I thought that wherever we go alone, we have to face it, everyone.
Yeah.
So, life, whatever the situations in the life, we have to face alone. That time I recognized and myself and
Mhm.
thought that I was bold enough to face it because I was knowing about the language. It was not difficult for me that.
Okay. So did you and since this was your first time in Ladakh, did you face any challenges? Obviously, I mean, you rode most of the time alone. That is a separate thing. But apart from that, typically people face a lot of challenges because of lack of oxygen there, and it becomes a bit difficult for riders to get acclimatized to that particular weather. And the good thing is that you went from the other side. But if you would have gone from this side, from Manali side and Pang and that side, normally people face and that impact is quite severe. Uh,
Yes, it's
but
quite severe.
that kind
I
of
heard after that.
impact did you face during that ride?
Yes, in Zozila Pass, I faced a lot because that route was the road, like that road. I never rode in my bike in my state,
Mhm.
so it was very toughest road in Zozila Pass, and no, and the weather condition also was not good, and the road condition was not good, and many watercross was there, and I was blind. I never know that type of road I will ride.
Okay.
So that is a very difficult phase, and later in the Kardungla pass I faced lot of difficult. So I was in my oxygen level was too good, and
Okay.
my bike condition is also too good,
Okay.
but the some of the minor things we could not make it properly.
Mhm.
So the hands, the gloves and hands to ride in the Kardungla 18,000 feet, that was not proper guidance. It was there. So
Okay.
that time I felt my hands were shivered and I could not get a throttle my bike.
Okay.
So that's the thing I faced in Kardungla Pass.
Okay. And because of that high altitude, normally,
Yes.
and because of the less intake of the air, oxygen, even the
Oxygen.
motorbikes, face difficulty, especially
Yes.
if that is
Lot of-
a lower CC bike. Did you face
Yes.
any issue with the bike?
Actually, along with me, Apache bike was there and RE Royal Enfield was there.
Mhm.
But RE Royal Enfield and all, there was not moving the third gear. It was only first and second gear.
Okay.
My bike in Avenger, it was newly bike. So I thought that it went on the third gear, first bike.
Oh,
So I
okay.
went in second and third gear. So it was not much trouble. So I
Okay.
recorded that in 150cc bike also. That time everyone know that even 150cc can also
Can
ride in
also,
that.
yeah. Now, I've seen many people,
Yeah.
especially localites. And when I had gone to Ladakh first time, there was one Pulsar with us and also Avenger. Avenger did not have any problem, but that Pulsar did face some problem. And
Okay.
when later on, many times I went there, I saw many people riding scooter there. They are
Yes.
on their
I
scooter
got,
Honda.
even I also saw that.
Yeah, so that's amazing. I mean, maybe they are used to it, and obviously they were localites. And
Yeah.
I think couple of the riders they did cover that entire area on their scooter.
Yes.
Anyways,
Few of them. I heard that.
yeah. So apart from these touring rides, Dashmi, you are also associated with many of the social activities, creating social awareness, towards many specific topics like autism or, saving the earth. or personal hygiene for the girls specifically, and many other such, right? So can you tell us something about those, social messages specific, right, that you do?
Usually, every riders I salute because they have their own thoughts and own ideas they do. So here, my idea was I came into mind is riding for humanity. So
Mhm.
humanity is the main thing. If every person has that, he can survive anywhere, and also he will survive. He or she will survive in anywhere, any places. So that
Right.
should be there for, and that was that humanity was uh, low I saw in the many of the human beings.
Hmm.
So I want to create an awareness about that humanity. So
Okay.
every person should have at least a few percent in their life humanity, that at least 20-50% humanity. So
Okay.
not completely, but that was I saw in many of the places on the people.
Hmm.
So that mind I got, the thought I got in my mind, and I started every ride. I started with my humanity, ride for humanity cause. So later, that cause, I even in the education purpose or in the any of the social cause, even main thing my professional is education background. So here, thought of education, educating the people or the who are creating a lot of awareness
Hmm.
about the personal hygiene. So like this in the government school and the villages, whenever I was riding on the road, so any of the school people or the school children, government school, I found I used to stop and I used to talk with them. Like that little bit awareness I was creating. And after that, as usual, my profession, there will be a lot of in the month of October holiday was getting, and in the month of May and April I was getting an holiday. So during that time, I used to use this holidays with the social causes. So
Okay.
this time, I use this my passionate into my social cause
Hmm.
for the as an Corona pandemic time. So I collaborated with the government of civil defense, government of Karnataka.
Hmm.
The COVID helpline was there. There I was getting a request to deliver the medicine. Through
Okay.
this, I delivered most of the non-COVID patients. Those are daily requirements for the basic day-to-day life. The diabetic patient, the cancer patient, and also many of the other diseases, HIV patient. For
Hmm.
them, I used to deliver a medicine. The request is to get from the government of Karnataka or from the family members I used to get. So like this, I started my journey. And also before that, also I was doing aware of social causes.
Okay. So, I believe when you started helping out people during this pandemic scenario, you were also offered one of the, I think, frontline as a frontline worker by one of the hospital to help the patients, to help the people.
Helpline desk.
Yeah. So, can you tell us something about that? That work, because at that point of
Uh,
time, I think you were based within the hospital boundaries. You were not
yes,
outside. How difficult
yes.
it would have been for you, because you might be seeing so many patients around you, dead bodies and all that stuff. So how did you cope up with that scenario?
So first wave was my delivering the medicine. In the second wave pandemic, it was something challenging for me.
Mm-hmm.
So just usually for the vaccination, starting I was doing vaccination drive and all. Later, I thought that it is not my cup of tea. It's anybody can do this. I want to do something useful for the patient side or any of the to get a medicine, to get a bed, ICU beds and all. So again, from the civil defense, I got a request that there is a work with an red zone in the government hospital.
Okay.
So it's an helpline desk where we have to convey the messages. How many for the common people, those who walk-in patients, were there COVID patients, for them we have to assist them, and also we have to tell what are the facilities we are getting in this hospital, in the government hospitals. So that was the thing, and daily it was high rate of COVID patients, and also high death rate was there that time.
Okay.
So 4 days I was there in the hospital in the front line, front red zone, where inside I used to not, I was not allowing, and only the outside COVID patients. So again, daily I used to enter in the ledger the COVID patients.
Mm-hmm.
And first day it was very, I was not knowing the work or the job also. Just my colleague took me and they assigned and this table and chair they kept and they told me to do the work.
Okay.
So in front of me, 2 to 3 dead bodies were there.
Oh my God.
So, and again, one of my colleagues, seeing that he was a boy,
Mhm.
seeing that he ran away. I will not do this work.
Oh.
So that was the thing. And first time it was for me, I was little bit low seeing the dead body and all the patient side.
Mm-hmm.
I was very much low. And after 1 hour or 2 hours, I took myself to understand and understand the situation and motivated myself again. I'm strong, I'm telling in my mind. And then one day full, I saw 20 to 30 dead bodies in front of me. They were taking and delivering the dead bodies. There is something different way where never I seen before. And the patient side, they were waiting to take the dead bodies, and they were crying. A lot of situation and conversation between patient side and inside the patient's family and patient inside through the window of the hospital, that
Mm-hmm.
not getting food, not getting medicine. So they were requesting to run away from the hospital.
Oh.
So that was the situation. It was there in the government hospital where I was allotted. And some people were taking the D group members, where the attenders were taking a bribe, and all the medicines they were giving, food supply they were doing.
Okay.
So that all this situation, it was make me very low. So I was very low. And again, daily I used to take my self-care also, because I was near the dead bodies only. So
My God.
3 days it went on well. Then I used to come early. I was my husband was in my in-laws place. I was in my place.
Mhm.
So I didn't told for 3 days I'm working in government hospital. I didn't
You-
told my husband also, my family also.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I was facing alone, and I was taking my self-care. So
Okay.
night and all, I'm not getting the sleep also, seeing all this situation.
With that
So again,
scenario.
next day I went on working, and there
Mhm.
was a bad incident in the hospital. And that day, 4th day, it was stopped. My work was stopped because one of the COVID patient, suicide from the hospital.
Oh
So
shit.
that was a situation, and there was lot of fights between a common people and an hospital. So that situation, where it was horrible. So from that onwards, the volunteers was not allotted in that hospital. So my work stopped there. Again, I took another challenge to give a healthy, hygienic food to COVID patients.
Okay.
So that was a challenge I did in the second wave. So
Okay.
all this now also is going on.
Okay. My God, as you were, explaining all this, I was getting shivers, I was getting goosebumps, and I just can't imagine how you did that for complete 4 days, right? You faced those
Yes,
that.
yes. And that the situation, never thought human beings like this, and that too in like a pack, like a suitcase, they were packing the dead bodies and zipping off, and
My
they give it like a luggage, the dead bodies.
It's really sad. I mean, what to say about this? Okay, let's make it a little bit light. I want to play something for you, Dashmi. Just
Yeah,
just
sure.
a second. This is a song dedicated to you.
Thank you.
You are listening to Candid Talks with Bharat V.
Lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising, oh, just you watch. I'm stepping into fate. There is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made.
So this is salute to you and your work from all our side, Dashmi. I mean,
Thank you
this
so
is
much.
something which I know every biker, they are actually associated with some or the other, social causes. But especially in this pandemic situation and the kind of work that you have uh, done or you are still doing, for the COVID patients.
Yeah.
I mean, that's seriously. I mean, it's hats off to you and your dedication. Many people will think that if something happens to me, I'm in middle of that entire core area of in hospital. If something happens to me, what will happen to my family and all that. So in spite of that, you took that challenge and you did that. Simply amazing, and hats off to you.
And one more incident in my family also that time. It was a peak death rate in outside. In my family also, my father-in-law death happened. So
Because
he's
of
like,
COVID.
yeah, because of COVID.
Oh my God.
So because of that, is more than my father. My father-in-law is great.
Hmm.
So that time in my family also, all the members were positive. Even my mother-in-law also,
Oh my
and even me and my husband was were non-affected.
Mhm.
And we are looking everything in the home and even in the outside also.
My God. And what about your children?
Children, actually, she is also there. She is an 11 years kid.
Mhm.
So she's we made her to stay in my mother-in-law place,
Okay.
mother place, so that she's safe there.
Understand.
So only me and my husband were facing in the family.
Okay.
We are facing all the lot of problems,
Mhm.
and situations were very bad in my inside the house also and outside the house also.
Outside. Yeah.
So, and I was caring myself also. So I'm a bold enough. I'm not fear of anything. So that's the thing, and the positive attitude was there in my mind, and I did all the thing. I can manage everything. I balance in my life. That's the thing. Confidence I have. So I have done for this.
No. And I think having positive attitude is very, very necessary. I think in each and every aspect for each and every field, I believe, whatever you do, no matter what you do, whatever situation you are, as long as you have positive attitude towards that, you think positive, I think you'll be able to, pass through that
In the area of
scenario.
positively, I was positive.
Nowadays, this positive has become
Positive word is
a
very
negative.
toughest word.
I mean, this is the first positive word that we all are afraid of now.
Yes.
And
But in
hearing that, okay, I'm
positively, I
negative.
was
Okay,
very much
it becomes so
positive.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, before I change the topic, one more quick question. So, do you have anybody else with you who is helping you in your current work for providing the healthy food to the COVID patients, or you are still doing it all alone?
Actually, I was working for the civil defense. From there, I got a request that few of the IT couples they want to serve a food because and they want a genuine person and a proper person to deliver properly. So I'm Sangeeta, my one of the common stranger. She's a stranger for me. I never met before. So like that, we in the phone conversation, they told me that daily we'll send 20 packets and you have to deliver for the genuine person where the COVID patients are there. It should reach the proper patients because it was again fraud was there. Many people were misused. So I took a BU number properly and just in social media I uploaded that any food facility I provide. So from there, the couple were providing for 23 days. So daily they used to give all the sprouts and all the healthy foods, green leaves and all. So that I used to deliver. I proper BU number and the proper patients I used to deliver the food.
And did you do that on your bike?
Yes, on my bike also. And also along with me, my ex-students, those are passed out, 12th standard, degree students, they joined with me.
Wow.
Yeah, they joined with me that we'll also come and deliver the food and all. So like this, it went on well that I think some inspiration I have done for my students also because I'm a professionally teacher. So they're also doing a social cause and joining with me.
I wanted to ask you one question. Now, you being teacher, you teach students. I'm sure many of your students also would be getting inspired by you, to take up riding, right? I mean, they must be very much
Yeah.
fascinated, and you must be their favorite teacher.
Yes. So everyone had more curiosity, especially the girls. They used
Okay.
to say, every time when I finish my classes, they used to come, ma'am, I want to come for a ride with you. Please
Okay.
teach me the ride, teach me the bike and all. I used
Mhm.
to tell them, if you passed out 10th standard first high distinction, then
Mhm.
only I'll get a permission for you to ride. And I used to teach you ride. So like that, I used to motivate them. So and later in the second PUC, first they passed out and they remembered and came back
Wow.
and telling that I'm passed out. You have to teach me. So
Okay.
and for them, I teach the biking and also and help them to take a license, gear
Mhm.
license, and now they are riding along with me also.
Nice. So, Dashmi, recently, I think you were also featured in one of the leading newspaper, and also Dettol covered you and many other such people who were serving humanity for the cause, for the work that you were doing during this pandemic. They covered you on their product, along with
Yeah.
their photograph and a small write-up. So can you tell us something about that? What that campaign was, and for what exactly, and how did it, came into existence that this is something that should be done?
So for the Dettol thing, I think it's uncommon in the website. I think during this pandemic, it's an competition for the product also.
Okay.
So I think they in the website they have uploaded that we salute for the Corona frontline warriors. And
Okay.
in my civic leader, I got this website. So
Mhm.
just I was uploaded. That's it. But
Okay.
later, after that, many people, anybody can upload in that.
Oh.
So yes, that was the thing. So
Mhm.
and few I heard that few of the first set of people they got the honor from the Dettol company also.
Dettol company. Okay. So, Dashmi, I think we have already, wow, we are almost about to complete
Yeah.
1 hour. पता ही नहीं
Yeah.
चला कैसे टाइम निकल गया. So,
Yes.
any message that you would want to, give for the now, since you are working as a frontline worker, during this pandemic, any message, specific message that you want to pass on for all those people who might be listening to us, in terms of the mental health, or how to handle this scenario, how to fight with this COVID scenario. And also, as a second part of the question, what specific message you would want to give to all those young girls who want to take up biking?
Okay. So the first thing for the during the pandemic type, I would like to say that first of all, we should be fearless. So
Mhm.
and don't panic. And next thing, whatever the situation we have to handle. We have to face the situation.
Yeah,
So and precaution is better than cure.
yeah.
First, we have to take a precautions. Then, as usual, everyone are telling that vaccination, then social distancing, mask up, everything obviously they are doing. So apart from this, everyone should have a mentally strong. So
Mhm.
daily meditation they have to do, and also to become if we are strong, so for other people we should tell a message and motivate them.
Okay.
So that
Awesome.
was the thing. And the second thing for the women riders, so for the girls, those who come up after 18 plus only, they should start riding.
Mhm.
And before that, please aware of that. Gates and all gates are important, and also license is very much important.
Yeah.
Then the bike which is comfortable, first we have to choose it. Then we have to start the riding. So this is a message and break the stereotype. It's not an gender equality, I believe.
Mhm.
Everyone can ride a bike. And also, especially, I would say the main thing where I have faced the challenge,
Okay.
that is short girl can ride a bullet also.
What is your height, by the way, Dashmi, if I may ask?
Yeah, my height is 5.
Okay. Okay. And
So
you ride Interceptor now, right?
yes. So as usual, you all know that Avenger is a short bike. I used to
Yes.
ride that.
Yes.
Then everyone criticized me. She's a very short girl. That's why she cannot ride the bike. Only Avenger. She's meant for Avenger. So again, I break the stereotype, took a challenge, and I rode Interceptor RE now.
No, I think this is very much true. And, there are many other short-heighted women riders who are, creating waves across the world. One of them being Sarah Kashyap. You might have heard her name, or you might have, even know her. She is also just 5 feet, and she is now riding a Himalayan. Before that, she has a Thunderbird, and she also used to, rides all those motocross with those high bikes. So height is obviously not a challenge anymore.
Yes,
That is for sure. And
not a challenge.
it's so, I feel so proud, when I come across such women riders from India who are taking up this, I'll call this as a adventure motorsport only, and this passion of riding. And they are actually seriously breaking, stereotypes and creating, they're basically creating a niche in the society for themselves, and they're setting a bar for other upcoming young girl riders as well. So that's really
Still, now
amazing.
also, if I ride perfectly, they'll tease me that you are a short girl, but I never care.
As long as basically they don't know what riding is all about. So like if you ask any rider, why do you do biking? We can't answer that. It's just that, okay, you start doing biking yourself, you'll get to know.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Dashmi, for joining us today on the show and sharing your experiences with us, your thoughts. And once again, hats off to the work that you're doing, to serve the humanity in this pandemic and helping out others in this, dire need. And all the best wishes to you to continue this work. Keep riding and please stay safe. That is more important nowadays. Obviously, that is something which we have to make sure that we all are safe and keep on helping each other and stay positive. Thank you so much, Dashmi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. So that was Dashmi Mohan, a passionate biker and a true hero, serving humanity selflessly in this pandemic world. A big salute to her determination for the work she is doing to help people in need. Every woman should be like Dashmi, daring, challenging, and courageous enough to work on her aspirations. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the podcast show Candid Talks with Bharat V.
If you like the show, please do like, subscribe and share with others. If listening on Apple Podcast, do not forget to rate 5 stars. If on Spotify or YouTube, do not forget to subscribe and share. All the bikers can listen to this podcast episode on bikersclub.in.
इसके साथ हम आज का सफर यहीं समाप्त करते हैं। बहुत जल्द मुलाकात होगी अगले शो पर एक नए टॉपिक के साथ, नए लोगों के साथ, नए अंदाज में। Only on Candid Talks with Bharat V. Stay home, stay safe. This is Bharat Vatsa signing off for today. दुआओं में याद रखना। जय हिंद।
You are listening to Candid Talks with Bharat V.